Hi, my name is Carson Irwin, and today I want to speak about the future of work and what co-creation is. Recently, I have been working with a company called Bravecore, and they are a startup here in Utah. They are talking about the future of work and what the ultimate synthesis would be to the future of what we hold. Okay, so we have all heard the phrase in relation to on work that we need to work hard, right? Work harder. The counter of this in recent years is that we need to work smarter, not harder. But with the future of work, you can't outsmart or work harder than the competition. So, what do we think the synthesis is? What is the future? How do we overcome this trend of working smarter, not harder? And what holds for the future of work? I want to speak about myself right now. I am a supervisor at Vivint in the customer loyalty department. I run a team of about 60 people right now, of the people that come out of their period of training, and I am the supervisor of the people that make sure that they're following their standards. I work a typical 9 to 5, sometimes it's 8 to 4:30, just depending on my day. And I'm basically just a little person in a big company, right? This is traditional work, right? This is basically logic of logos, right? What the regular person does, pretty much 80% of the world, they are a traditional employee in a big company like this. I want to talk about why this is normal and some of the relations that fall into this for myself, as well as maybe yourself if you work for a big company or a business and you're just a regular employee there, right? So here is the regular employee mindset, and I want to read a few facts of this. You have the fixed working hours, dependence, guaranteed income, work hard, boredom, order, controlled, survive, blame others, secrecy, play it safe, money is everything, accountable to others, efficiency, results focus, job titles, and like I said, that logos mindset, right? Um, why am I a traditional employee? Why does this benefit myself? Well, I have the guaranteed income. I have my guaranteed salary that I'm going to be able to pay the bills that I have to. I have that guaranteed that, whatever happens, I will be okay, right? It's like that, the fixed income. I fall into it with those normal guaranteed hours. Now there is some other things. It can be very boring. I feel like, sometimes I fall in the pattern of just doing the regular day-to-day work, getting it done, and not really progressing in a way. Now there may be times where my management is like, hey, think outside the box, work on something different, show us what you can do, and maybe we can improve that and use it in our day-to-day. But ultimately, this is a traditional 9 to 5 employee. They don't think outside the box. They're going through the motions, play it safe. I do it to play it safe because I need that guaranteed income to pay for all my needs, right, in my life. So traditional is fine. Now, what has ultimately been the counter of traditional? The counter of traditional has been entrepreneurship, right? Let's list some things about entrepreneurship that it falls under. Independence, flexible work hours, risks potential awards, work smart, exploration, chaos, freedom, strive, course correct, being open, take risks, time is everything, self actualize, effectiveness, lifestyle focus, expertise, and with that pathos, emotion, it's with your heart, right? Why do people fall into entrepreneurship, right? They don't want a boss. They want to work their own hours. They want that, maybe I could make X amount of dollars if my business or whatever my startup becomes successful. They want that, what makes them feel independent, right? They don't want to have to rely on others. They want to do it themselves. Now, this is great. Plenty of people I know have been able to make a great living off entrepreneurship. People that fall into, the entrepreneurship type of degree in school, I think it's great. You learn a lot from it. I think that it gives you a lot of potential to grow in life. Now, let's talk about some of the cons of entrepreneurship and what it truly falls into, in my opinion. Some of the cons are lots of risk taking. There's no guaranteed income, right? It all depends on yourself. If you're not the person that's going to go get it and be determined and you want to fall into entrepreneurship, nothing's going to happen unless you go and do it, right? It's a lot that relies on yourself. You have your own hours, right? So you work whenever you want. lots of people fall in the habit of, maybe not working the full shift that they need, the full time that they need to be able to be successful. And other people, they work extended hours in entrepreneurship and they are very successful. Now, in the entrepreneur mindset, it's fighting against tradition. If we talk about woke, what is the definition of woke? We have Republican, liberal. We're not going to talk about that though. We're going to talk about what exactly is woke. Woke is fighting against tradition, right? Right now, people that are woke in the world, they're fighting against the traditional beliefs that were taking place during our lives because that's what they believe in. They don't believe in the traditional things anymore, so they're fighting against it. That is the same thing with entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is fighting against the traditional mindset of logos, right? It's fighting because you don't want fixed working hours, you don't want a boss, you don't want to have those liabilities to anybody. You want to be yourself. And I think, in a way that's great. In a way, a traditional employee is great as well. And so what an entrepreneur really is fighting against tradition because they want to do something greater than them, which I think lots of pros, lots of cons. Like I said in my work, I don't get to do that because I am personally going through the motions, making sure my team's doing everything, and occasionally I'll have that extra side project to be a little bit different, but ultimately I just follow what is needed to go. And so there's pros of both, and I think them working together is ultimately the synthesis of what I want to get into. So what is the synthesis of these two things, right? You have one and the other. What's the third option? The third option is co-creation. Let me talk about co-creation and how it will impact the world, right? Co-creation is ethos, it's the spirit, it's what you believe in, right? So let's take a regular traditional employee and we're going to take an entrepreneur. They both have these ideas of coming up with something big. If they work together, that's the traditional, or that's the synthesis, right? You're taking one, two, making them together, that's the synthesis. I want to talk about co-creation and what it falls under. It's a mindset, right? You have to fall under this mindset. And sometimes in your life, you might use stuff from traditional and stuff from entrepreneurship to get you to that mindset of co-creation. So let's read about it. You have independence, shared time, building social capital, work creatively together, co-creation, meaning, creative influence, thrive, build with others, being transparent, shared journey, contribution is everything, responsible to others, shared empowerment, relationship focus, transcendence, and like I said, that ethos, the principles spirit that you have. It all ends up being a principle. So with principles, if we take two people together, they have a goal of setting something up and working together. And they work together, co-create together, being smart, using their knowledge, being creative to build something bigger. You will get there to be able to have your ultimate goal. In life, people are not just successful by themselves. They need people to help them out. They need people to work together co-creatively. You can't run a business. You can't be the finance guy. You can't be the CEO. You can't run all of the statistics of what's going on in the company. You need people to work together. This is the future. If people aren't working together, it is going to be hard to come up with the ultimate goal. And so co-creation is taking the regular traditional employee and the fighting against traditional entrepreneur, working them together, building ideas together to get an ultimate statement, ultimate goal together. This is what the future is. Now, it is hard to get here, and I think it's going to take the world lots of time. But I truly believe as we work together and come as one to find an ultimate goal, you'll be able to find success, right? And so companies, they don't just start with one person. It takes lots of people together. And so as we work together and build as a world and as the United States of America, I truly believe that there is going to be a synthesis in the future of the traditional employee as well as the entrepreneur. And so my challenge for you is to use that list that I gave to find ways to be more creative, to find ways to co-create with others, and to be able to build something bigger. So if you have an idea or anything like that, or you want to try something, I want to encourage you to work with other people, reach out to people, to work together, to build an ultimate goal together, and to think more in a co-creative way. And that's it. Thank you for listening.